Story 1. Transfer my money to someone I care about. Engage in enough exercise to work up a sweat, then go to a dark room, turn off the light, and close the blinds. Film a video expressing panic about being in danger and claiming that the government is actively trying to harm me, leaving behind a conspiracy named after me. Die laughing. Story 2. 20 minutes spent cleaning my computer and phone histories, 20 minutes removing embarrassing personal items around the house, and 20 minutes showering and preparing to feel fresh for the meeting. Story 3. Just walk outside and head towards the sun or moon, depending on the time. I remind myself that I did my best. When I'm in a place where no one else is around, I sit down, take deep breaths, and smile while staring at it. Sometimes, a few tears roll down my face as memories replay in my mind, heart, and soul. I am a good person who wasn't treated fairly, but I gave them the best of me. Story 4. Make my son his breakfast and lunch, play with him outside before his grandfather picks him up for school. Tell him I love him and that I'm proud of him. Nothing different than any other day. I will then sit and write him a separate letter for every significant life event I can think of that I won't be there for and leave them by the front door for him to find when he gets home. Then I'll just sit by the sea staring out at the horizon until the moment comes. I think I'll actually do that anyway for 2 reasons. You never know what will happen tomorrow, and it would be interesting to open those letters at those times to see how my perspective may have changed over the years as we get older. Story 5. I will sit my family and friends down to tell them how they have made my life incredible. I will share stories of my great journey through life, like in The Hobbit. Lastly, I will express my love for them, cuddle my dogs, and enjoy a drink. Story 6. I want to express to my wife all the ways she has improved my life and the positive impact she has on the world. I also want to tell my male cat that he is the man of the family now and I expect him to start acting accordingly. Lastly, I want to let my female cat know how much she has enhanced my life, despite the amount of fur she sheds. Story 7. 1. Creating instructions for my family on how to take care of my daughter's diabetes. Producing videos for my daughter to watch during various life events. Writing letters to each family member. Story 8. Write a short note with the combination for my safe, where I keep all financial information, logins, and then just hold my dog and my daughter. Story 9. The real answer is to hope that the 60 minutes do not take too long. Send 5 minutes before my savings to my sister, and then simply let go. The fake answer is to panic and hope that time does not pass quickly. Story 10. Go run out into a field to die so my family will have to come find me, even going through the grief of losing me, Old Yeller style. Story 11. Going back to bed. Either I wake up or I don't. It prevents the self-fulfilling prophecy situation, and if it's a fate situation, there is nothing I can do about it anyway. Story 12. Kiss my mother, husband, dog, and cat. Call my brothers, sisters, and friends. Go outside, look at the sky, have a cigarette, and tell my husband to come find me and hold me in his arms. Story 13. From now on, I am texting my goodbye to my online friend. I don't care if my family finds me dead in my bed in the morning. I want to make sure my friend doesn't think I abandoned her. Story 14. Kiss my wife, check if she has access to everything, including money and digital accounts, and open our best bottle of wine together. Story 15. I would film a farewell video for all the people I care about. Then I would attempt to clean most, if not all, of the content from my computer. I would try to split my possessions among my siblings and then hug my dog. Additionally, I would make sure to leave some personal items in my brother's bedroom. Story 16. Right now, I don't have any assets. I would max out credit cards to support the charities I believe in, as there is nothing for the banks to collect. Story 17. All right, time is running out, 60 minutes left. Here's the ambitious plan. 1. Secure the legacy minutes 1 to 20. Asterisk record a candid video sharing every important lesson I've learned. Investment strategies, mindset shifts, business frameworks. This isn't a goodbye. It's a masterclass for future leaders. Asset distribution, minutes 21 to 40. Asterisk call my lawyer, quick instructions. Set up a solid trust. My legacy will go exclusively to those who have demonstrated their commitment. No handouts, only earned inheritances. Final hustle, minutes 41 to 60. Asterisk complete one last workout, push-ups, crunches, shadowboxing. I'll leave this world with peak energy and determination, just as I lived. Relentless, fearless, unmatched. No tears, no regrets, only focused execution and a lasting legacy. Story 18:1. Go for a hike with my dog. Then we would swim and frolic in the lake by jumping off the big rock. Lay next to my dog in the sun on the big rock and write a letter to my loved ones. I guess there is a 50-50 chance these 60 minutes would be at night. Probably wouldn't change anything, though. I doubt I would swim if it were winter. In that case, I would replace the swim with another activity. Story 19. I would ride a motorcycle while intoxicated. If I reached my destination, I would happily start a campfire on the beach and invite the most intriguing woman I know to keep me company. Story 20. Go on a family picnic or to a place where the entire family enjoys being together. Express your feelings to your family members. Hug your son and tell him that you love him. Story 21. The same three things I am doing right now. Playing a video game, listening to music, and occasionally browsing the internet. Story 22. Chop off my ear and give it to a woman at a brothel, then shoot myself in the middle of a cornfield. Story 23. I will probably get a six-pack, some cigarettes because I don't smoke anymore but miss them every day, and just go fishing. I will sit on the bank and relax, listening to the water hit the bank before eventually rolling in. Story 24. Throwing away my private belongings, preparing all the documents, bathing, and getting dressed to be ready. Finally informing others and then lying down to relax. Story 25. I will stay in an empty place and record a video in which I will explain my life experiences and offer a suggestion to everyone about life. Story 26. 1. Make a generous donation to my local cat shelter. Order my favorite foods for home delivery. Wait eagerly for the order to arrive. Story 27. I would message my ex and tell him I'm sorry we met at the wrong time and place. Tell my mom I love her. Look at myself in the mirror for my remaining minutes. Story 28. I am writing a letter of encouragement for my loved ones. I want them to live a good life and not dwell too much on my passing. Story 29. Write a will leaving everything to my dog. Cry a lot because I will miss him, and notify someone to find us in time. Story 30. If you want an honest response, I would pray to God and ask for forgiveness. If God exists, which I believe it does, then so does heaven and hell, and I would rather not spend an eternity in hell. If he doesn't exist, nothing actually happens, and all of this is quite meaningless and pointless. Story 31. I apologize for having eaten a burrito for lunch. It may make someone's day unpleasant when dealing with the aftermath. I want to thank everyone for being part of my life, whether good or bad. In the end, it's all positive, and everything is forgiven and forgotten since my memory will fade. If there is a way to bring me back to life when technology allows it, then absolutely count me in. Story 32. I hope I had enough warning to at least drive to my favorite restaurant, order food, and enjoy it. Story 33. I would take a moment to regain clarity and figure out what to do with the rest of the hour, but I would likely spend most of that time searching for the perfect video to watch. Story 34. All right, now for the bad news. This was just a hypothetical question. Can everyone please stop being serious? Story 35. Call my mother and tell her I love her. Call my best friend to tell him I love him and that I want him to look after my family. Sit down with my family and tell them I love them and that I am proud of them. I do not see anything more important than these three things. Story 36. Just sitting and waiting while smoking cigarettes. In 3 hours, I can't do anything special that would change my world. Story 37. 60 minutes? I'll drink heavily and watch Robin Williams on The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, and I'll die laughing my drunken self off. Story 38. Knowing me, I'd stress about what to choose, but I'd probably punch my abuser in the face. Tell my loved ones how much I love them. If possible, watch the sunset for the last time. Story 39. I am spending time with my 1-year-old son, ensuring someone is here when I leave so he is not alone when the hour is up. Story 40. Eating and smiling. This is all I ever wanted. Things will not get better as the class divide continues. I am not on the winning side. Therefore, I will find peace in my circumstances. Story 41. Dear family, I want to apologize for feeling like a burden recently. I have been reflecting on my actions and realize how they may have affected you. I also wanted to share some story ideas for my cousin, who is a wonderful storyteller but needs a little encouragement to pursue creativity. I hope these ideas inspire you. Finally, I thought it would be fun to set up one last joke. I plan to hide 2 decks of cards around the house, so whoever finds them will be constantly stumbling upon playing cards. Thank you for your understanding and support. Love, your name. Story 42. Drinks and good food while playing a video game with my cat on my lap, unless I can manage to finish the novel I am currently reading. It sounds like I would have done the most to do what I love until the end this way. I might ask for 1 more hour though. I can never get enough. Story 43. I am tired of all these last-minute end-of-life decisions and meaningless prompts. Where are the creative and thought-provoking questions? Story 44. Play my favorite record. Tell the people I cherish how deeply they are loved. Prepare for my transition into the afterlife as I envision it. Story 45. I've always wondered what the fuss about Class A drugs was about, so I would probably try heroin, methamphetamine, and crack cocaine. Story 46. I am writing a heartfelt letter to the people I truly care about, expressing why they are so important to me and what makes them admirable. I will also list my cat's food and affection requirements. Finally, I might include an awkward joke that is likely to fall flat in writing. Story 47. I am making a cup of coffee. Right afterward, I am going to share a bottle of great wine with my wife. That will lead to a romantic evening. I will probably play fetch with my dog for the remainder of my time. Story 48. I cry with my wife and kids as I express how much I love them. My only hope is to feel their love for all eternity. That would be the 3 best things I could ever want to do. Story 49. If you gave me more time, I would try to get my affairs in order. But with just 60 minutes, I would simply play with my dog. Story 50. That time would be spent with my children. I would hold them, kiss them, and tell them how wonderful, clever, and amazing they are. I would express how lucky I am to be their mother. We would play whatever game they want, listen to their laughter, and watch their smiles. I would dance with them one last time. Story 51. Offering my remaining 60 minutes to anyone who wants them. Let me out now. I don't need another miserable hour. Story 52. I would tell my wife how my book ends and that she can share it with my readers if she wants. If someone offers to try to write it and publish it in my name, let them. I would then write a quick farewell on my subreddit and let each of them know how much it meant to me that they enjoyed the characters and worlds that exist inside my head. They really brought me happiness in a way I could never fully express. That should take about 20 minutes. I would then call my mother and sister to say my goodbyes to them. They are welcome to try to come to my house if they can. I would then tell my wife I was dying. That would be the hardest part. I would make sure she knew that nothing in this world was more worthy of my time and attention than her, and that my biggest regret was that our time together got cut short. I would spend the remainder of my time cuddling with my wife and cats. Writing this out made me realize how fortunate I am. We are struggling financially. My feet and back ache every night. But I am truly a lucky person. Story 53. 1. Call my wife to head home, then drive quickly to pick up my kids and return home. Enjoy the time I have left with them at home. Ensure my wife has all relevant passwords and information for accessing my belongings. Advise my kids not to sell my wristwatches and guitars for the amounts I mentioned to my wife. Story 54. Tell everyone to leave. Inform my partner where the gold is buried. Take a moment for myself and relax for the next 55 minutes. Story 55. Wheel of Time spoiler. Lie about the color of a dress. Reveal all the secrets of the dark one to the good guys, and be awesome. The oath is to keep things secret until the hour before death. Story 56. I have never done drugs. If I knew I had only 60 minutes to live, I would use drugs. I want to go out on my own terms. Story 57. Talk with my family. Tell my ex I still love her. Jump off a building because I'm dying anyway and because I have always wanted to do that. Story 58. Talk to my wife and clarify as many final wishes as possible. Cuddle her and our cat. Speak with my parents and brother. Story 59. To be honest, I would call my family, but I think I would be in abject terror that death is imminent. I am terrified of death. Story 60. I always made this joke with my father, who was a college professor. If I had only an hour to live, I would want to spend it in your class because that hour would seem like eternity. When it was over, I would be ready for the sweet release of death. Story 61. I'm not religious, nor do I believe in the supernatural. Therefore, I will spend the next 60 minutes filming myself running away from a poltergeist, claiming I found indisputable proof of the afterlife, but I am now being hunted by the guardians of the afterlife. I will then lock myself in a place where no outside person can reach me, so murder will be ruled out, and I will upload this video to social media. I will laugh at all the new insane theories I will create. Story 62. Make sure my cat has enough food and water to last for a week. If necessary, say goodbye to my family members and lie down in bed for my final nap. Story 63. I am sending my passwords to my partner so that he can clear my browsing history. I will send my money to him and the other half to a charity. It is not a large amount, but every penny counts. I will write a long memo saying goodbye to my partner and include information on where to find all the documents he might need. Story 64. Make a 10-minute video of advice for my son. Search for the perfect video for 45 minutes, and then take a break for 5 minutes. Story 65. I spend 50 minutes trying to decide what to do and realize I only have 10 minutes left. I sit and dwell on my own thoughts. Story 66. Probably just smoke some marijuana and cry while I try my best to think of my whole life in chronological order. The roller coaster of emotions. Story 67. Saying goodbye to my wife, children, pets, and family, then turning off my phone to sit outside and enjoy the air one last time. Story 68. Call my fiancé and apologize. Call my mom and say I'm sorry. I will go first, then call my friends on a conference call to explain and ask if we can at least get together online to play a game one last time before I leave. My fiancé is overseas with her parents for her mother's birthday, so I likely won't be able to see her before I leave. Story 69. I will propose to the girl I think about all day long. I will thank my parents. I will drink a lot. Story 70. Of course, talk about it with close people. Then, I am just relaxing and waiting for the end of my life. Story 71. Transfer money to my partner. Transfer some to my mom. Spend my remaining minutes in my hot tub, just relaxing. Story 72. Take a nap. If there is still time, take another nap. Story 73. I will probably jump up, go to my boyfriend, and spend the last hour with him. I will shower to spare anyone the stress of doing that after I am gone. I will put on the clothes I want to wear when I am no longer here. I will cry the entire hour because that is truly devastating. Story 74. Write my last note with all my usernames and passwords. Move all of my personal money to my joint account so my wife can access it. Select my funeral clothes. Spend the rest of the time playing with my dog. She will not understand what is happening, so I want to create a good memory for her. Story 75. Record videos for my son's school graduation, study graduation, wedding, and a few more occasions. Write down all my passwords so my wife and son can easily access funds or end subscriptions. Change clothes and go for a walk. Story 76. I tried once, but the tool just went click. Why delay the process if I know it's coming? Just give it to me. Everyone will eventually die. Why can't I say I'm done and turn off the lights? I'm not scared. It's just a miserable existence and potentially the loss of even more rights with how the country I live in is going. Story 77. Get my wife from wherever she is. Hold her tight and cuddle. Do not tell her that these are our last moments. Story 78. Rush home, hug my mom and dad, call my brothers, say a prayer or two, say goodbye to my friend, and donate my money to a meaningful cause. Story 79. I will sit down next to my dog, think about how he is the only thing that means anything to me, and pet him until I die. Story 80. Tell my kids how much I love them and how sorry I am that I wasn't a better father. Tell my dog how much he means to me. Tell the woman I love how much I wish we had more time together. Story 81. Leave work. Leave a note explaining what is happening to my family, including my bank account information. Go to sleep. Story 82. Call my wife and talk to her. I am more than 60 minutes away from her right now. Meanwhile, write an email instructing her and my brother on how to manage everything after my passing. It's quite simple. Story 83. Not much. I will probably spend it with my daughter and partner, ensuring they know how much I love them. Story 84. My emergency supply of medication was kept after I quit using drugs. I held on to it because having it and never needing it was less triggering than not having it. Oxycodone can still have effects after 15 years, right? Story 85. I would write a letter to my husband and another to my daughter. I would enjoy a good quality coffee with dark chocolate while looking out of the window. Story 86. Delete all the evidence. Provide my master password. Purchase a life insurance policy that cannot be revoked. Story 87. Kissing my dog, cuddling my dog, and ensuring that someone caring picks up my dog in exactly 60 minutes. Story 88. Just look at the sky and feel the air. Go near the water and listen. Look into the eyes of the people I love. Try to laugh a few times. Story 89. Set up a cheese wire noose, superglue my hands to the sides of my head, and at 59:59, jump. It will appear as though I have torn my own head off. Story 90. It will be like the movie in time. It would take me longer than an hour to reach my wife, so I would need to let her know while I'm driving there. This would take most of the journey, and I doubt she would be in a condition to drive. I would also need to be in a good state to drive and wouldn't have many opportunities to speed or run red lights. Honestly, now that I think about it, that would likely be more traumatic for my wife than not telling her and just passing away. So I probably wouldn't do that. I might go to the pub and have a pint and a packet of crisps. Story 91. I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling this way. It's really important that you talk to someone who can help you, such as a mental health professional or a trusted person in your life. You don't have to go through this alone. Story 92. I am 75 years old. Doctors predicted my demise within months to a year back in 2018. I am still here. I have already arranged for my death, the funeral, and more. I have a will made out and granted power of attorney to my daughter, so I am fully prepared. I have 60 minutes left. That is enough time to make quick calls to my closest loved ones and send out a mass email to the rest. I think I will pour myself a shot of bourbon and go sit outside and wait. I enjoy the fresh air and listening to nature. I live in a rural area and have always loved living here. Story 93. Transfer all my money to the designated person. I want to write an informal last will and call my fiancé to say goodbye and wish him well. Story 94. I was living in Hawaii when the alert came. Inbound Korean missile. Seek shelter immediately. The alert was everywhere, on my cell phone, on the radio, and on TV. I had 15 minutes to live, and this is what I did. I started a video stream to the cloud, pointed it towards Pearl Harbor, grabbed my cell phone, cat, and a bottle of my grandfather's whiskey, and got into the bathtub, covering myself with a blanket. I waited for over 30 minutes until they called it off. While I was in the bathtub, I texted an old girlfriend and told her that she was the love of my life. Story 95. 1. Consume my entire cheese collection. Activate my contingency plan for when I pass away. Arrange myself in a manner that my body will be discovered in an unusual but humorous situation. Story 96. Ryan Gosling, while smoking a cigar, is going as fast and as far as possible. It's admittedly a lot less exciting in a Skoda hatchback than in a Chevrolet Malibu. Story 97. Having my last meal. T-bone steak and chips, malva pudding with custard, and vanilla ice cream for dessert. A bottle of J&B whiskey to wash it down. Elvis and CCR to sing me into the afterlife. Story 98. Video call with my children who live abroad. Holding my wife and children who are still here. Gently hold my wife's waist one last time. Story 99. I will write as many letters to friends and family as I can, although I know I am a slow thinker, so it may not be many. I'll also try some of the sweets I've been saving. I will write down sensitive information so my family can use it as they wish. Story 100. Wiping all my devices and social media profiles. Recording and sending a goodbye message to friends and family. Spending my last moments with my wife. Story 101. Make sure my cat is taken care of. Then I will probably just sit and cuddle her for a bit, and then take a nap because I am tired. Story 102. Sit on the beach. I can't make it there. Why? I can't find my car keys. I look for my car keys for 59 minutes. I get in my car. After 60 minutes, I die. My face hits the horn, and everyone laughs at my circumstances. I died making people laugh. I am remembered as a legend. In 1 month, no one cares. I am reincarnated as a key hook. Now I am immortal and forever hold someone's keys so they never lose them. Story 103. Enjoy the beach, relax, and appreciate the beauty of the sun or moon while taking in the moment and savoring life's pleasures. Story 104. The first thing will be panicking as I try to figure out what I need to do. The second thing will be falling into a pit of depression as I simultaneously accept and deny my fate. The third thing is sitting there paralyzed with indecision until I ultimately fall asleep and take a 30-minute nap. Story 105. I am looking forward to enjoying a delicious steak and potatoes meal. Next, I would approach the most attractive person I can find. Finally, I would relax with a high-quality cigar. Story 106. 15 minutes to talk to loved ones. 30 minutes for intimacy. 15 minutes to smoke a joint. The rest is not a priority for me, such as clearing search history and other similar tasks. Story 107. I plan to ride my motorcycle to an airport to steal an airplane. I might also like to use cocaine maybe before I do all of this. Story 108. Give my money away to my loved ones who need it most. I will make a few phone calls to the ones I love, and then drive to my favorite place before time runs out to be with my loved ones. Story 109. I will have an emergency family gathering at a restaurant. I will leave my cat with my partner and empty my account, giving it all away. Story 110. Revving my motorcycle, smoking a cigarette, and drinking whiskey from the bottle. I might go target shooting while I'm at it. Story 111. Wait in silence. Look at the time. Exhale with impatience like when there are 10 seconds left on the microwave. Story 112. Right now? Just a 60-minute warning? Call my mother, call my employer, call my best friend. Notify the hotel I am currently staying at. Lie in bed and wait. Story 113. Eating ice cream with my loved one while watching a sunset. Alternatively, I could take a shower, but instead of water, I would use beer. These are unusual dreams. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.